Okay, we shall start doing this project again. Yesterday we have finished up doing the top part. So today I'm going to show the bottom part. For those who have missed seeing me in action doing the top, you can see me again doing the same thing but with a smaller version of the roses. Okay, so first and foremost we will take a design which has already been transferred on the tracing paper. So I'm going to position it at the bottom here. Okay, and use a paper tape to hold the design. And then I'm going to use this transfer paper which I've marked. This is the top part and this is the bottom. Okay, so we're going to put and insert it underneath the tracing paper. Okay, and I'm going to use the stylus. Okay, this is the stylus I'm going to use, and I'm going to run through the design using this transfer paper. I'm going to just roughly know where the roses are and the leaves, so that it's easier for us to follow. But in actual fact, if you know the brush strokes required, you can actually just do it without uh, the design. Yeah? Just do it freehand. Okay, I'm done with that. Okay, so I roughly have the design transferred onto the surface. Okay, hold on. Okay, I have already have it on here. Okay, and then I'm going to use this Matisse Flow Dewdrop White. Okay, I'm going to put it onto my wet palette, this Stay Wet palette, and also Venetian Red. I'm using Matisse Venetian Red. That was what I was using previously. Okay, for those who are using Joe Sonia, you can use Red Earth and Warm White. Yeah. So I'm going to use the 1/4" angle brush because of the design is small. So I'm going to wet it a bit. Okay, make sure that it's not too wet. And I'm going to load the bottom part with Venetian Red and the top part with the Dewdrop. Yeah. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do for the rose at the bottom. So we just follow the design. Okay, so this is roughly what I have done. Okay, and we do the petals as well. Okay, I'm going to load again the white because it's no longer visible. Just going to just make sure that I covered the pencil mark. Okay, so I have a small one like that. Then I'm going to do the next set of roses. Again, we must make sure that the pencil mark is not too visible. Okay. Draw the petals. Okay, and then the next one, yeah. Okay, hold on. Let me finish this and I'll show you what I had done. Okay, so I have done 3 roses, 3 little roses there at the bottom. And then we were going to do the leaves. Okay, the leaves I'm using Matisse leaf tip green. Okay, for Jawsonia, you may want to use antique yellow. And then the shadow leaf, the shadow, this is shadow green, but for Jawsonia, you can use Payne's gray. Yeah? Sorry, for Jawsonia, you can use yellow oxide. Okay, for this particular leaf, you will load at the tip the dark color, the shadow green, and then the bottom is the lighter color, yeah. So I have it like that, and then you just shape it. Okay, I'm going to shape like this, and like that. Okay, here is what I have done. Okay. Okay. The color of choice I have done is basing from the Ross Singleton boat. This is what I'm trying to do. She uses Matisse color, yeah? But if you don't have Matisse color, it's okay. You can still use Jawsonia or even Americana, but the color choice is up to you. Okay, we must make sure that I cover the pencil. So we are done with the leaves. Okay, very simple leaves where you brushed from the middle to the side, just to form a leaf, yeah? Okay, for the roses, I'm not going to be too detailed because it's already small. For the middle portion of the roses, I'm just going to use stylus and using the dewdrop white. I'm just going to put 3 dots in the middle. Okay, like so, just 3 dots in the middle. Where is it? There you go. Okay, I'm just using stylus. Okay, and then after that, the next step is to shade each leaf. But before shading, I think we should dry it. Okay, then we use 2 colors. Previously, I'm using this aqua green light and trans magenta color from Jo Sonia. So I have 2 color, and I'm going to use a retarder to thin out the color at the same time to make sure that the brush does not go dry too fast. Okay, so we're going to use the same 1/4 inch. Load the retarder on the brush, but make sure it's not watery. And I'm going to use the aqua green first, and blend it on the surface. And I'm going to just shade one side of the leaf. Okay, you hold on, I will show you. Okay, that I have actually painted aqua green on one side of the leaf. Okay. I'm going to put all through, all on one side of the leaves. If the brush gets a little bit dry, then you put a bit more retarder on it. Okay, I finished the whole set of leaves with aqua green, and now I'm going to load magenta. But before that, you must make sure that your brush has been soaked with retarder. And I'm going to pick up at the tip this magenta color, and I'm going to just brush onto one side, the other side of the leaf. Okay, if you can see over there, Okay, we are done with magenta, so I have it there. We can dry it first before we proceed. And I'm going to use a liner brush. So this is a liner brush, and you're going to load the shadow green to make a vein. Okay, so you have done a vein onto that. Okay, and I will also put some defined strokes. Okay, so I put a bit more defined strokes onto the leaves, and then I'm going to shade using the raw sienna. I'm using Matisse raw sienna. You can use also Jo Sonja raw sienna, which is less intensified than this. And going to shade it on the outside here of the design. Okay, I'm going to use the same again, the brush, which is a 1/4 inch angle brush. I'm going to soak with a retarder again, and take the tip with raw sienna, and I'm going to shade in between spaces. In between the spaces of the leaves and roses, yeah. Just shading. Okay, so I have it shaded a bit here and there, and we're gonna dry again. And then I'm gonna put a tint of aqua and magenta on the side as well. Gonna use retarder again. Just put a bit of shadowy leaf. Just to okay, so you can see some of the tint of the color, and then going to use the magenta also. So I'm going to follow exactly the technique that I applied to the top. Then I'm going to do it at the bottom, but using smaller brush. So it is possible to do it also the same way as is in a 3/8 situation, the 3/8 inch angle brush. Okay, so I'm just going to put a tint of pink. Cannot be too bright, yeah. So it's just a tint. So I'm using my hand to brush off. It's too bright. Okay, so you have a bit more dimension to the end result of this design. So with that, we finish the whole set of the design for the bottom part of this switch blade. We're going to dry it. Okay, next step, I'm just going to shade on the side with pine green. This original Johnsonia pine green to darken the side of this switch blade. It will look better rather than just plain. But we're going to use half-inch angle brush. It's a larger one, and we're going to soak with a again retarder so that it's damp. And I'm going to just get just a tip, okay, and I'm going to shade at the side here, okay. It's a bit, I think I need more retarder because it's dry. Okay, just going to shade it to give it a shape. Okay. So you can see the difference when you shade, and it follows the shape of this switchblade. So you're going to pick it up and brush on. If it's too dry, you just need a bit more retarder, and I'm going to shade it like this. Okay, use a bit more retarder, pick up a bit of more green, pine green, shade it at the edge. Okay, so we have that all shade up on the side, and then we can dry it. Okay, when you have retarder on the surface, it will take a bit longer to dry. Okay, so now we have already done like that. Okay, so now next step is for us to finish up the item by varnishing it. That would protect the acrylic paint from scratched and also from water. So I'm going to use this gloss varnish, Jawsonia gloss varnish. I'm going to put it onto this palette. I'm just going to use a foil. Okay, and pour it here. And I'm going to use a flat brush to wet it a bit, and make sure you squeeze out the water, so we only want it to be damp. And we load on both sides of the brush, and we varnished it. Okay, that way it gives a bit of gloss to your painted item. And also protection. You can do it on the side as well. Okay, so we have that. We will dry it first. It needs 2 layers. So we dry first before we put a second layer. Okay, and then we put a second layer. Yeah, use the same brush, and we brushed on for the second layer. Okay, done, and we dry again. Okay, once we finished, so we can actually hang it up. Yeah, so this is a triple switch plate, where you have three switches, and you put in between, and make sure you put what do you call it, double-sided tape at the behind it, so that it will glue to the wall. Okay, so this is the final product. So next project, I will do a different switch plate on a double switch plate with a different kind of technique. Yeah. Okay, for today I'm done. So thank you very much for following me.